Welcome to live Q&A here on the Marketing Wizards Inner Circle. My name is Michael Bridgman, and you, my friends, are fantastic and phenomenal business owners looking to get rocking and rolling here and crank up your results. First question is, how can I identify my ideal target customer and audience? Okay, you can't market to everybody. Marketing to everybody means you're marketing to nobody. Okay, so write that down. Marketing to everybody means you're marketing to nobody. Okay, in other words, a bland message that's going to reach a whole bunch of eardrums is probably not going to resonate strongly enough with any of those eardrums to actually motivate somebody to come and do business with your company. So you really want to narrow down who you're marketing to. And so I've got some key strategies here to find out who that ideal client actually is. And I'm going to jump over to my screen here and write these down for you. So if you're at home taking notes, here we go. All right. So first things first, the most important thing when you want to identify who your ideal client is you need data. Okay. My friends, you need data. You need information. You need to know who these people are, what makes them tick, and everything else. So how are you going to get the data, and what type of data do you need? So first off, you're going to need demographic data, demographics, and possibly more importantly than that, I'm spinning my chart here, you're going to need psychographic data. Okay, now we're going to come back to this in just a second. But in order to get this, you are going to need to find a way of gathering some of this information from your existing database. So if you've got a group of customers and you're thinking to yourself, man, I'm not really entirely sure who my ideal client is. Like, I don't know exactly who they are. I think I kind of could sell to anybody. Or in my database, in my customer database, I see all sorts of different people, right? All sorts of different avatars that there could be. Well, chances are you likely have an ideal client avatar though, and they will emerge. For example, I thought that my ideal client in my brick and mortar pet business was like late 30s, busy moms that had kids and everything was running around, and I was building all my marketing to attract that particular person. Turns out, once I did some surveying of my clients, my top customers, the ones that spent the most money and I actually enjoyed working with the most, were all like 52 to 56-year-old, well-off women, right, who'd probably recently become grandmas and empty nesters, and their dog became their new child, and they drove high-end SUVs, and I learned a whole lot about these people. And my actual ideal client was somebody totally different than who I thought it was. So between you and me, do you think it's going to be different marketing to attract a 54-year-old young grandma, right, than it is to attract a 32-year-old busy house mom with 3 kids? Yeah, they want very different things. Okay, so if you want to take a look at how to attract your ideal client or who they actually are, then there's a couple of ways you can do it, and these are the ones that I would recommend. So first off, as I said, you need data. So one of the best things to do is surveys. Okay, surveys or any type of means of connecting with the client in a really quick way. Right? Get them to participate in some sort of opt-in survey or some sort of quick questionnaire, right? Surveys, you could call them quizzes. Oh, hang on a second. I'm working with this thing. I'm getting better, I promise. There we go. Quiz. And you've got questionnaires. Okay, and the reason I love these things so much is that you can build out really short ones. Really tight ones, really quick ones, right? Anything between 1 and 3 questions. I got a survey from Tim Hortons the other day, a local coffee shop, actually a national coffee shop here in Canada. And the thing estimated for me to take 11 minutes. 11 minutes to do a damn survey so I could get some sort of, it wasn't even a free thing. It was a discounted item. They wouldn't even give me a free cup of coffee, okay, for giving them all of that information. Right? That is just lame. So the fact is, do anywhere, you guys, from 1 to 3 questions. People don't mind filling out a survey every other week or once a month if it's 1 to 3 questions to give you some information. And what are you starting to find out about, right? And give them a gift. Give them some sort of a thank you for doing the survey. And so what are you trying to find out? Well, you're trying to find out their demographic stuff here. So what goes under demographics? You're trying to find out the age of your ideal client. You're trying to find out whether they have kids or not. And of course, how many kids they've got. Maybe, like their weight or their overall health, that type of thing. Maybe that's important to your company. Maybe things like their geographic location. Okay, there we go. These are all different things that you can find out through demographics. So for example, if you're running a brick and mortar company, right, you might want to know what part of the city they live in, right? Do they live on the east side of the city? Do they live on the west side of the city? Do they live in the central part of the city? Like, where are they geographically located? You might want to find out how old they are, how many children they've got. Do they where do they love to shop? These are all different demographic types things. Think about demographics, my friends, as anything that you can sort of see from the outside. Okay, anything you can see from the outside. Now, you also want to find out some psychographic information, and this you'll have to get a little more tricky about how to ask for it. But psychographic information is like, what are the motives of your ideal client? So for example, in the pet world, when I'm having a conversation with somebody and we're talking about dog or cat food, let's say, I train my staff to ask, what's your biggest buying motivator here? Is it looking for a great price point? Is it looking for the best quality? Which is most important to you? You know, which one do you feel this most strongly about? You want to find out what the motives are of your ideal client. You want to find out what they fear. What are they afraid of? What's keeping them up at night? Or put a different way, you can ask, what are the challenges that you find in regards to XYZ industry, right? So in the pet world, for example, it might be, what are some of the challenges if you were to feed raw food? What were some of the challenges that you feel you might face? Right? This will tell us some of their fears or hangups are. So that's also really, really important. The other thing is, what do they love? What do they care about? What's important to them? You can rate on a scale of 1 to 10 type questions. These are all different ways of drawing out some information about who your ideal client is. And then last but not least, as far as the psychographics are concerned, what do they do for fun? And you can ask this, as I said, in creative ways, you guys. So it could be something along the lines of like, okay, if you had the chance to go on a vacation and you said you can go to Disneyland, you can go to Hawaii, you can go to London, England, or you can go to, Alaska. You can ask that question and you can start to understand the nature of who your ideal client is based on their answers. So the whole point was that Roger wanted to know, how do you identify your ideal client? And Roger, really what you want to drive for, my friend, is data. You need data points, you need information, right? And the best way to get that, in my experience as a marketer, the best way to get that is to simply start asking your ideal clients about this stuff in very small amounts of information. So you might think, oh, well, I need this data now. Look, if you need the data now, you probably should have started collecting it 6 months ago. So over the course of the next 3 months to 6 months, wouldn't it be empowering and amazing to have collected that data and know a lot about your ideal client so you can build the best product for them, so you can get to know what their hopes, dreams, and wants are. And so ultimately you can serve them in the most highest level that you possibly can. You might as well start doing that now and getting to know them, but do it in a small way. And give them a thank you gift, right? A free this or a free that, or I've done lots of surveys in different industries where I'm giving away a free product, a low cost to me product that the client would love as a gift for doing a quick survey. Don't do the Tim Hortons thing and ask me to complete a 7-minute survey, right? And give me a half-price coffee. It's lame. All right. So that puts a wrap on that one. I hope you guys got great value out of today. This was fun. So my friends, if you got good value out of this, please join us in the Marketing Wizards Inner Circle Facebook group. It's a free group. I go live in there all the time. Plus, you can take our 5 days for 1 year of marketing bootcamp that's right inside that Facebook group. So you can go over there and access that. And if you are looking for help with your marketing, book a Compass call, right? So you can reach out to myself within the group or reach out to me personally here, book a Compass call. A Compass call is basically a 45-minute chat where you and I sit down, we find out where you would love to be with your company. You'd absolutely love to build a company that's doing this and where you currently are. And we find out how to get the right trajectory to get you there. So I call it a Compass call because it's often needing to have got to auto-correct a little bit to where you'd love to be. And we book these calls all the time, and we find out if there's anything that we can do to help people, of course, right? It's a great way of us showing what services we can provide companies to help them grow. Shameless plug there. But more than that, it's just a great way to figure out, okay, this is where I'd love to be. This is where I am. How do I get there? What's the jump I can take and get a roadmap to that type of success? And until next time, I have been Michael Bridgman. You have been awesome. So go out there, enchant your audience, make some magic happen. And this has been another episode of the Q&A session for Marketing Wizards Inner Circle. Ciao for now.